I saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi this weekend, and no, I'm just kidding. Star Wars: The Last Jedi was a good movie. I thought so, but there's only one thing I want, and there's a lot to say about it, but there's only one thing I want to talk about in this video, and that's the one thing that I didn't like about it the most, even though I liked the whole movie overall, was their treatment of Luke Skywalker. Oh, warning, spoilers and all that, because I can't talk about Luke Skywalker without spoiling the whole movie. So, just letting you know, I warned you that there are spoilers in the description and in the title, and saying it right now. But anyways, I thought that The Last Jedi was a horrible way to send off and retire the character of Luke Skywalker. If he's really retired, and I'll get to that later. But it's like, and I'm biased because Luke Skywalker is my favorite Star Wars character in the movie universe. I know that they've had all these books and comic books, these novelizations and video games and stuff. So, and they have all these other characters in those. But I've only watched the Star Wars movies and played some of the games, so I don't really know a lot of the characters that have been in the novelizations that people love. I'm sure they have countless great characters in those. But in the movie universe, Luke is my favorite. He was like the first, big main superhero of the Star Wars movies in like the 70s and 80s with the original trilogy. And he's just a really awesome character. My second favorite is Obi-Wan, but, Obi-Wan wasn't in The Last Jedi. This is about Luke. But anyways, Luke is supposed to be like the greatest or one of the greatest Jedis ever with all these like awesome Jedi superpowers and stuff. And, he appears to die in The Last Jedi. And I feel like for someone as important and powerful as Luke Skywalker is, he needed to have a really awesome like Jedi fight before he is killed off or, becomes like this Force ghost that will appear every now and then. I don't know, he appeared, but it's like, he has that scene on that planet where he's facing off with Kylo Ren and it's a Force ghost. It's revealed that it's not really Luke Skywalker. Well, that Luke Skywalker's not actually physically there is what it is. And he has a couple of interesting moves and stuff. But then it's like, Kylo discovers that it's a ghost. It's not a real, like, physical person he's been fighting. And then, Luke appears to, like, fade away back on that planet he lives on. That he's, staying on, projecting his Force ghost from. And Leia and Rey say, oh yeah, I felt him go away. And I'm kind of like, that's it? Like, that's the last final epic fight scene that Luke Skywalker gets before he's, like, essentially, like, retired and fades away into nothingness? Come on. Luke should have been, like, in 2 or 3 movies where he was getting in on the action with all the other people and having all these awesome fight scenes and showing everybody what kind of Jedi Master he is. Even Yoda got scenes like those in the George Lucas prequels. People hated those prequels. But I'll say this. George Lucas and the people who helped him with those movies, they knew to give, the main characters some really cool action sequences. So you knew that these were, like, really competent, tough, good guys. And The Last Jedi, I mean, the current Star Wars movies do that, but it's like, stunning that they didn't do that for Luke. Give Luke Skywalker his due. I felt that he was killed off, well, if he's really dead, too soon. And I felt like if this was his actual death, he didn't get a proper send-off. He should have had these jaw-droppingly great action sequences throughout the whole movie, not just at the end and not just this. It was cool. It was cool that he could use a Force Ghost to trick Kylo Ren, and he could definitely project a Force Ghost from that distance, like from another planet. That showed how powerful he is, but that shouldn't have been it. Luke Skywalker should have been doing all kinds of amazing, like, awesome stuff all over the movie and in other movies before he is killed off. It just, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like that. I was like, this is what you did to Luke Skywalker. And I think this is the reason, even though, like, Star Wars The Last Jedi has gotten good, like, critic scores, and its cinema score, I think, is A. I read that. If you look on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score for The Last Jedi is actually pretty low. It was last time I checked. And I think it's because a lot of people were unhappy. They didn't feel that the movie was poorly done. They just didn't like a lot of the storyline directions. And I think this is one of the reasons. Like, Luke Skywalker, they felt... I'm making a big assumption here. I haven't talked to any of them, but I'm just projecting. But I think the Luke Skywalker thing is what has made them unhappy. The ones saying that they weren't that happy with it. Because that's why I wasn't that happy with it, dang it. But anyways, that's just how I felt. And, we'll see if Luke's actually dead, because he, like, fades away So I think they might have him come back in future movies as like this ghost or spirit who's like lecturing and tutoring Rey and stuff. But even then, I kind of don't like that that's how we're going to see Luke Skywalker from this point forward. As a ghost who appears every now and then to like, you know, give somebody like a tip or whatever. I mean, I hope that this probably isn't going to happen, but I hope they have it where he like is so powerful he can give himself a physical form again and get into some of those fight scenes. I just feel like Luke Skywalker, the character, wasn't properly exploited for all of his awesomeness before they decided to push him out. I mean, I'm not saying push him out because there's drama or anything. Just what I'm talking about, just the storyline reason to phase him out. I don't like that. I felt that Luke Skywalker had a lot more he could have done in the Star Wars universe, and he just could have had a lot more, you know, awesome. This is what a bad, you know, tough guy I am. A lot more scenes like that. You know, like when Luke Skywalker comes on the screen, everybody's like, "Oh no, someone's gonna get just beat up," because he was that good in the original movies. And he's one of the most legendary Jedi. And they should have let him be that again in this movie. That one scene where I talked about, where he was the Force Ghost, that was cool, but that should have been the tip of the iceberg. But anyways, even though there are all kinds of things you talk about in Star Wars The Last Jedi, that is the only thing that I feel passionate enough to make a video about. That's how strongly I feel about the Luke Skywalker treatment. But anyways, what do you think? Am I off base? Do you not care or whatever? You can let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your viewership. Please like and subscribe to the videos and stuff like that. And I'll be doing more videos on this channel very soon. Have a nice day or night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.